Welcome back, Daybreakers. Your time right now is 7:14, and we have some special guests joining us here on 13 News Now. Plus, from the American Heart Association, we have Community Impact Director Briana and board member and cardiologist Dr. Petra Lynch joining us to tell us more about ways in which you can improve your heart health through lifestyle changes. And we have some displays here this morning, which I'm really looking forward to getting into that. But let's start first. How much can a lifestyle change, particularly when it comes to the food that you eat, change the health of your heart?
So lifestyle is one of the biggest contributors to living actually a long and healthy life. It keeps you going. Think about, as the energy source for living healthy is your food, right? Mm-hmm. And whatever you take in stays with you.
Yeah.
It's important that food, exercise, and a healthy mindset guides you throughout your lifetime.
Now, we had some folks here yesterday with the American Heart Association, and the quote that I know stuck with me is, you can't outrun bad eating habits, right? So you are what you eat. You got a few things here. What kind of foods can help with the heart? I imagine there are some examples that we have here that you guys brought with you.
Yeah, so American Heart Association actually has done a tremendous effort in changing our eating habits and bringing it to the community. And what I really like is the slogan of American Heart Association about eat the rainbow.
Yeah.
Right?
Eat the rainbow.
Yeah.
Eat the rainbow.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Colorful foods, lots of fruits and vegetables on your plate.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right, so I cut up a couple of vegetables and displayed them what I usually serve. And it's also presentation, right? If you have something, nicely displayed on your table, you're so much more likely to
eat it and indulge in it. Yeah.
Yeah, the colors, they get you feeling a certain way as well. I mean, and it is also, I get fruit every single week for my week. So I know this is right up my alley. Yeah. But for people, they're trying to make small changes. Maybe this might be something they feel like they can't do every week. What are some small things that they can do to kind of help them along that trajectory?
Yeah, well, one thing I would say is the first thing is definitely drink more water. We know that a lot of people drink a lot of sugary beverages like sodas and juices that are filled with so much sugar. That's one of the first things that I would say. Maybe more infusion of your waters with different fruits and vegetables and things like that. I would also say just take, things one day at a time. Maybe swap out some of those unhealthy snacks that you're having for fruit snacks. Well, not fruit snacks, fruit instead. Like if you're having potato chips, maybe pick up, a bowl of fruit instead. So just you have no idea how much those little small things that you do on the regular can really make an impact on your everyday living.
And Dr. Lynch, I think the last time we saw each other, we were doing a panel discussion when it came to healthy living. And on that topic, one of the questions that was asked was, okay, finances, right? When you look at a lot of times people are purchasing more non-healthy foods because they're often less expensive.
Yeah.
So what are some maybe less expensive healthy options that people can go for that they can kind of work within their diet?
Yeah, I love that question because a lot of people think that eating healthy is more expensive than if you're eating just like things that you pick up at the fast food restaurant or what have you. So what I always like to tell people is frozen vegetables and fruit is just as good as fresh. And frozen fruits and vegetables are typically less expensive than if you're getting it out of the produce section. So that's one of the #1 things that I always tell people, that you can always go with the frozen option as well, because it's a misconception. You think that you have to get the frozen option, the fresh option, but you absolutely do not. You can get the frozen one and just make sure that it doesn't have any of like the extra sauces, like some of the vegetable, like stir-fry packs have some of that sauce in it. As long as you're avoiding that, you're still just as good as getting the fresh.
And maybe not doctor it too much with the seasonings that you do. I know I had to be delivered from that. I'm not gonna lie to you. I was keep pouring family recipe. But are there any items or food items that people typically think are healthy, but they're actually not? I know one that stood out to me. I started drinking a lot of like carbonated waters for a while, and then I was like, oh, that's great supplement for. And then I was told, yeah, no, not so much as great for you. Are there any foods that people commonly think are really healthy, but they're not as healthy as they think?
I would say, and you can, piggyback Dr. Lynch, I would say one of the things that I see is juices, because, if it's 100% orange juice on the bottle, then people think it's juice, so it's healthier, it's from fruit. But a lot of times it's still filled with sugar. And the thing about sugar is that contributes to obesity, which is ultimately contributing to some of those chronic conditions like hypertension, high cholesterol, diabetes, those things that we see. What did you want to add, Dr. Lynch?
So I think, people think peas and corn are vegetables. They're not,
They're not.
right? I hate to break your bubble here. Peas and corn are starchy products, so they're
very
not
starchy.
vegetables. It's actually not the red meat intake anymore that drives the cholesterol up of Americans. It is the cheese intake.
Wow.
So if once first I heard this, and I looked at the numbers, I went to my fridge and I opened my fridge and I had like 15
of cheese
in there, right? I was like,
We love cheese.
I got vegetables,
We love
but
cheese in
cheese,
America.
right? So what I actually tell my patients is, yes, you can have the meat. That's actually good protein intake, right?
Right.
But cut down on your cheese intake.
Got it.
That's the biggest thing. What I did yesterday when I went after work to the grocery store, it was like 9 o'clock at night, right? I felt like a real patient, I was really tired, had no time, and I needed to throw something together. I was like, what I always tell my patients is get a bag of carrot chips or just regular mini carrots, right? Throw them in your lunchbox or even on your car seat, right? And the chips are actually super healthy. They have lots of fiber in them. Carrots do have a little bit of a higher glycemic index, but they're really healthy. You chew on them, and the chewing itself makes you less hungry. Right?
Interesting.
And then you have a lot of fiber in your belly. People these days think all about protein. It's protein, protein, protein. It's also fiber, right? The more fiber you have in your belly, the fuller you feel, right?
Well, I want you to hold on some more tips because I think we're bringing you guys back, right, if I'm not mistaken, in the next hour or so. So don't give it all away just now yet, because we're going to have some more things coming up later on here on 13 News Now Plus, because I've already learned a ton right here. So thank you both for being here. Let's continue this discussion in just a bit as well.